Time for the hot topic of the hour. Families of 9/11 victims are calling for New York City Mayor Giovanni Mamdani to be banned from the 25th anniversary ceremony in September. Brooklyn native Giovanni Galante, who lost his wife Grace in the attacks, organized a petition on change.org, which has over 10,000 signatures. It supports keeping Mamdani away from the event. It lists a series of concerns about the 34-year-old politician. Galante telling the New York Post Mamdani's presence would be hurtful and inappropriate, saying, quote, your objection is based on his public record, his failure to meaningfully acknowledge the horror of that day, and his employment of support for or association with individuals who have minimized 9/11, defended terrorists, or even suggested America deserved the attacks. Now, the mayor's office responding, quote, to Fox, saying this: Mayor Mamdani will proudly honor the families, survivors, and first responders forever impacted by these devastating attacks by standing alongside them at this year's 9/11 commemoration, reaffirming we'll never forget the solemn day felt by all of us who called the city home. Paula, your reaction to this, because, look, he has made it very, very clear in his actions and his words since he took office in January, where he lies, and it's a Palestinian state. He is not on the side of Jewish Americans, and he certainly does not seem to have much sorrow about 9/11 and in the statements that he has made.
Definitely not. And his biggest takeaway from 9/11 was that his family members felt unsafe being Muslim in New York City. He made statements about that when he was asked about 9/11. That was his takeaway. Not the victims, not the lives lost, not the firefighters and other service members that lost their lives protecting other American citizens. That is not his concern. It's Islamophobia is simply what he brings up. And it's very concerning as someone who grew up here in the New York City area. 9/11 was something I was reminded about every single year. My father worked here in New York City while it happened. I heard stories about it every single year. We're 25 years away from it. I was a young child when this happened. But now I feel like we don't really remember, and seeing a New York City mayor in the city it happened in acting this way, to me, is disgusting as an American.
Yeah, no, I mean, Ryan, I was here. Well, I wasn't living here, but I was here a month after the attacks, and it's just all, you know, if you lived through that time and you experienced it, you remember how horrific it was. And the Wall Street Journal's editorial board says globalizing the Intifada in Mamdani's New York, and they talk about the current situation. But this ties back to why the 9/11 families don't want him there, because they don't feel supported by someone who seems, you know, that if it was 25 years ago, he'd be, you know, probably supporting the attackers on the World Trade Centers. I mean, that's my opinion, but, you know.
Yeah, no, I think it's clear his values are antithetical to those who lost loved ones on 9/11, 100%. And it's kind of ironic he's talking about how Muslims felt they feared for their life after 9/11. Well, how about all the Jewish people that now fear their life as he's supporting calling Netanyahu a war criminal, which is not, by the way, a commonly held view amongst Americans in general. But I also think it's hard to believe that's 25 years ago. And to your point, I started my career right at the time that happened, and that feels like maybe like 5-10 years ago, not 25 years ago. It's hard to believe that people that were 30 that would have been in that attack would have been, like, you know, 55 today. So it's just hard to believe that this much time has passed. And funny enough, I was literally in the World Trade Center a week before, visiting Kenny Paul Carey, who's a trader who's on the show very often, right before the attacks happened the following week. So it's hard to believe this much time has passed.
So this from the 9/11 victims' families, and kind of they lay out multiple reasons why they don't want him at the 9/11 commemoration event in September. But one of they say is Mamdani's own father, who's acknowledged has shaped his views, penned a book shortly after 9/11, which he argued that suicide bombers should be understood as a feature of modern political violence rather than stigmatized as a mark of barbarism. That's just one of 10 points that they make in this.
Yeah, this entire thing is so disturbing. It's happening, and I'm on the side of these families. I completely understand, and I'm proud of them, honestly, for coming out and saying these are our grievances with his presence at this event. The other thing I will note is this is not just Mamdani. When I was in college, I had a Muslim professor tell us that 9/11 was a cultural misunderstanding. It's because we don't understand other cultures, and that's why we feel so strongly about it. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a little passionate here. Maybe it's because I grew up in the New York City area, and this is something that I personally experienced and saw, and it's just so sad. sad to see where we're at with this.
Yeah, no, I mean, and these families still to this day, the 9/11 families, if you talk to them, they're like, it feels like yesterday to them. One more thing, I want to make this point. Mamdani recently stood with DSA primary winner Elise Aria Chevalier, who once tweeted, quote, "I forgot to get napkins, so I just wiped my hand on the American flag behind me." Like, this is current day. This is Zohran Mamdani today.
Which shows you how much we've forgotten about 9/11. I think the families should be able to decide. If the families would want him there, great. If they don't want him there, he shouldn't show up, period.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Anyway, we're just getting started this hour. We've got a lot more coming up.